And so why don't you talk us through when, I don't know, I guess at that point, when was that? Like 5, 6, 7 years ago? Or 5 years ago, let's say?
Could be even more, yeah. 6, 7 years. 6.
When I started to, because it's not like one day I was like partying on the road and like selling, and then I was like, oh no, now I'm going to be a pillar of health and discipline, and I'm going to do keto, and I'm going to fast for fucking 4 days. It was you caught me at the beginning of that. And so now I'm on a descent into moderation and having a toolbox rather than being a rigid machine.
Yeah.
So now I can choose my times.
100%. And it came back with you. If you look at it, you came to see me, and what did I do? I kind of looked at you and said, look, let's work on your alignment, your structure of your body. And if you think about that, that just aligns everything else after, laying that foundation. Right?
Totally. And that's what it's still what we're working on now. But
you're always trying to refine the structure and get it stronger in the foundation, right?
And so
body, mind, whatever,
So do you think that like literally the structure of your body, like let's say my core is my weak point in my body. As you train me, you're developing my core, because like I'm not a big guy, but I can lift despite my size, but you want to work on my core because that's my balance is off. Things are like everything suffers because of my core. And as a person, I've always lacked balance. Like I'm extreme one side, extreme the other side, but there's no balance that holds me together. And I'm starting to want to develop it because it's a tumultuous life, So do you think my body represents that?
I think so. I think there's something to look at. And, as we're discussing right now, sometimes I haven't even thought about this before, but you could look at it and we can say right now that could be true, and we could say like, if as the core becomes stronger, everything else in your life becomes stronger too. You're more balanced throughout certain things that you're doing in your life. And, just like you said, you never had that stability, and it was always like, doing a couple things. And now you're really finding a nice foundation with the things that you're doing, your music, your this, your that. And same thing, your nutrition, and finding a nice battle rhythm.
Yeah. Rather than like crazy extremes that average out in the long run, but in a very unsavory way, like in a very tough way.
Yeah.
So let's say you look at your, let's say your body composition or your muscle strength or weaknesses. Can you find something in, let's say your, I guess your build or your makeup that could kind of project into the way you live your life? Because I'm thinking about it with me, like,
yeah,
it might be hard to do it, like to think about it for yourself.
Yeah, for myself, it is a tough question, and kind of going back to injuries that I've had, going back to like my back, right? Injuring a couple discs in my back, and then wondering, okay, well, why did I get injured there? And how did I get injured there? And that movement that I did, was it a movement? Was it just a buildup of things? And then it goes back to, if I don't train now, my back starts to hurt. So having that training component right now for myself and doing, certain strength lifts strengthens my back and also strengthens things around me. And if I don't train, then other things around me, become, not as strong, let's say, not as stable.
So training,
not as confident with certain things, know, and there's that, vulnerability factor, where now I could be more vulnerable with myself and look into certain things that are, wherever I am at in my life, and look at things, relationships, whatever it is, or things from the past, and allow myself to be vulnerable to get stronger and to be able to grow, versus pretending like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go do this, go into the gym and get strong. But now I do these assistant exercises or whatever it is that help me become stronger with my back. And the same thing in life, right? You got to look, peel back things, and allow yourself to look at things differently and be able to accept them.
So that's very interesting, because what I'm getting from that is that, like, you hurt your back a couple of times. So the discs, that's been a sore spot, so to speak, for you. And is it because like you have a very strong will? In my opinion, you have like a hardcore discipline. Like if you want to do something, whether you've been drinking all night or not, if you said you're going to be up climbing a mountain at 6 a.m., you're there.
Oh, I'm 100% there.
So have the injuries maybe showed you that, you know what, maybe you might have this will that is unbelievable, but you're not invincible.
No.
You know, like, because you are naturally a beast. Like, look at you, fuck. I look like a, you look like a cigar, and I look like a cigarillo next to you. You know what I mean? Like, you are beastly. Like, you,
Beastly.
you